Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. It is a beautiful fall day still here in Johnson City. A little more chilly than usual, but it's almost Christmas time. So I'm excited that it's a little chilly, but more excited that I've got Alec Castro with Visit Johnson City on the podcast for you guys to get to know. He is just a great guy, and I'm excited for you all to learn all about what he does because it's awesome. So welcome to the podcast, Alec.
Thank you. And we can't start this podcast without saying Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. I can't believe it's Christmas time already.
It's flown by. It's flown by. And it's one of my favorite times of the year, for sure. So tell us a little bit. Well, one, this is going to put you on the spot, really, probably more than any other guest we've had.
Oh, that's fine. I love it.
What is your favorite thing about Johnson City?
Okay.
I'm also going to put you on the hot spot for some other stuff.
That's okay. While, so I live in the hot spot. My favorite thing about Johnson City is that you can live in an area which has all the amenities and resources that one usually assimilates with a large metropolitan area. But you have extreme accessibility to the outdoor universe. Really, in Northeast Tennessee, it's becoming the outdoor mecca for the Southeast and specifically the state of Tennessee. So you can have the city life, you can have the small country living lifestyle, and then personally, we have a growing and robust arts and cultural scene. And with all of that, you get an amazing quality of life.
Right.
That it's such a unique niche that we have here in Johnson City that I truly don't know where else you can get.
Yeah.
To be in an urban area, but have rural surrounding it, having all the outdoor adventures, having arts and cultural entertainment. You know, what area do you know that you can go mountain biking or whitewater rafting or hiking or cycling, but then in the evening go to the symphony? Go to the theater. Like, that's hard. See a Broadway show. That's hard to beat.
It is hard to beat. I think we appeal to pretty much everybody.
Yes.
Like, we're not missing much. I don't know if there's anything that we are missing, really. I mean,
but yeah, I always like to call it the triumvirate, which is you know big city amenities, small town, southern charm and hospitality that you would expect from the South, but accessible to world-class outdoor recreation as well.
Okay. Good answer. And very, very broad, which is great because it covers all the bases. And I think it hits perfectly. We have wonderful people here and wonderful scenery, and it just makes it an amazing place to live. All right, tell me the Alec story. How did you get to Johnson City yourself? Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
So I grew up here. This is what I call my home. I had my most formative years and I was indoctrinated with culture. So I definitely call this my home. Gotcha. I moved here when I was 14 and went to the local high school.
Science Hill?
Yep, Science Hill.
Go Toppers.
Went to ETSU for 4 years. But before that, I'm originally from South Florida. Okay. I was born in Miami. Both my parents immigrated to this country from El Salvador.
How cool was that?
And so going from the South Floridian culture to the Northeast Tennessee culture sounds very stark in contrast, but I guess I was just in a portion of my life that it wasn't as impactful as it sounds because of what I alluded to, where I didn't know things yet. I was 13 years old, still finding oneself, and where I found it was here. So that's why this is my home.
Gotcha.
And after I graduated from East Tennessee State University in 2016.
What'd you do at your degree in?
I was an opera singer. So that's a whole other story.
Holy
I'm about to turn 30 next year, and I've lived many lives
in
my
cool.
20s.
Wow.
So, but yes, I got a vocal performance degree at ETSU.
Good for you.
And that was the launching pad for me being elsewhere for a
Gotcha.
few years
Okay.
outside of Johnson City. So I have a very unique perspective. One, because I was not born here,
Right.
but I grew up here. And then I went elsewhere for a while. And then I came back and truly realized how amazing it was.
Right.
Because I did not
You
appreciate
needed
it.
some perspective.
Yeah,
you need to go. And
I did
man,
not appreciate everything that Johnson City had when I was an adolescent and a young adult.
Yeah.
When I graduated from ETSU, it was like, bye Johnson City.
Right.
I will never see you again. Good luck. And then
And we sucked you back in.
and now my whole job with Johnson City or Visit Johnson City is selling a destination and promoting all the amazing things about it. So I've really come full circle in my life journey. But my operatic training landed me in the Midwest at Indiana University Bloomington. I started at a conservancy there.
Oh, cool.
And then in my early 20s, everything changed professionally and personally. And I actually ended up going across the street to the public affairs school and got graduate training in nonprofit and public administration.
Nice.
And then I was in the Midwest for a while, DC and Asheville, exclusively working with nonprofit arts and cultural institutions.
Cool.
Doing all the business so that the art that was being displayed could be so for the audience consuming it.
That's cool.
And then the pandemic changed everything.
Yes.
And that
I don't know what you're talking about. Pandemic, do you remember that, Mitch? No.
I don't either. I try to forget.
I just got like a fuzzy, there's a couple of years where it's fuzzy back there.
And so when the pandemic happened, that was another, obviously a big moment for all of us, but for me really both professionally and personally, because I was not living here. The industry that I was very, very steeped in was extremely compromised.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I had to pivot, and I know we all love that word now. And late 2020, early 2021, I knew it was time to come back. Mm-hmm. My immediate family had been here the whole time, and I didn't really know what my plan of action was going to be coming. I just knew this was home, and I wanted to be with family. So luckily, shortly after my return, I connected with formerly the Johnson City Convention and Visitors Bureau, doing business as Visit Johnson City. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years, doing group sales, out-of-market communications, and advertising, event planning. And so we really are the whole encompassing arm of tourism on behalf of the city of Johnson City.
That's awesome.
So, and that's what I do with my life now.
Isn't it cool how there's a plan happening?
Your plan never happens. That's what I learned.
We think we've got a plan, but I think the Lord has a different plan.
Oh, absolutely.
What brought your parents here originally from Miami? I mean, that's like we want to go totally different. We want mountains instead of beaches.
So, harken back to 2008 of what Johnson City was.
It's a little sleepier.
Yes, much sleepier, and really, Johnson City has changed so much now. Almost in 2024, like it's otherworldly how much Johnson City in Northeast Tennessee has grown and what it's going to be as well. And in my opinion, all for the better.
Sure.
As well, there is so much more to do and see and eat and enjoy that not only the quality of life here is better, but now people are wanting to see it for themselves and visit here and then potentially move here.
Which we've had a lot of people do.
Absolutely.
A lot of people move here.
And so in 2008, and now I go to another side of my family. So my mother is a board certified pediatric emergency physician.
Ah, cool.
And is today Thursday?
Today is Wednesday.
Tomorrow is her last day.
No, it is Thursday. We had Wednesday yesterday.
Is today Thursday? Oh gosh, I need to get my mom flowers. Well, my mom retires at the end of the day after 40 years of doing that.
Good job,
Gosh, I need to text her. I
That's
told her,
awesome.
I was like, today's Thursday.
Sorry. Yes, we had small group last night. I'm an idiot. Yes.
So, back then, before Ballot Health, there was Mountain States Health Alliance. And there was no pediatric ER. There was no Niswonger Children's Hospital. There were no pediatric subspecialties. Essentially, if you were a child needing above basic care, you could not get that in Johnson City, Northeast Tennessee. You had to go to East Tennessee Children's in Knoxville or even further in Vanderbilt and Nashville to really get the care that they needed. And so they poached my mom from South Florida to be the medical director of the Children's Hospital, which that was the only thing existed. Niswonger didn't exist then. the pediatric subspecialties
Yep.
that came afterwards did not
remember
exist.
the whole thing being built.
But she essentially was the catalyst for creating the operations of the ER, staffing it up, and making it a success so that the dominoes could fall.
How cool is
and
that?
Niswanger's funding would be secured, the hospital would be built, and then all the pediatric subspecialties would come afterwards. And now children in the Northeast Tennessee area and beyond now can get the vast majority of their care at home.
Everybody, I've talked to lots of folks who've actually visited and had care, and they love it. I mean, we were getting a Christmas tree up in Elk River this weekend, and I said, have you ever been to Johnson City? They said, yes. Our son broke his arm, and we had to go there, and they did a wonderful job.
And that's what's created the medical hub that Johnson City is known for, really for rural central Appalachia.
Through the med school, because of the rural program there.
And the Colin College of Medicine, where now people and families in Southwest Virginia, Southeast Kentucky, Western North Carolina, prior to getting to Asheville, and of course, Northeast Tennessee, this is where people congregate to pretty much do everything.
Right, for sure.
And if you don't live in Johnson City, you're coming to Johnson City a couple times a week for something. If not every single day.
Yeah.
I agree, yes.
Okay, so it's Christmas season. There's a lot going on downtown. Talk about downtown Johnson City Christmas. We've got Candyland Christmas. We've got a parade coming up. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. So blow the listeners away.
I
all of our
love the story of the development of what is now called Candyland Christmas.
Isn't that cool?
Because in 2020, again, was bad, and I don't need to tell you why.
We'll just skip it.
Yeah, we'll skip what happened in 2020.
A little while ago, a few years ago. It's not like a story, like a long time ago.
But at the end of 2020, it was very clear that the historical and traditional Christmas parade was not going to occur. And so the community and the city came together and basically said, what can we do that is safe? And that's where Christmas in the Park was developed, where at that time it was 50 or 60 trees in Founders Park, all decorated by nonprofits and individuals and corporate entities. And it was an experience to be outside and have space, but be with the community. So it was check, check, check. We can do this.
Win, win, win.
And
we went, it was awesome.
Christmas in the Park at the end of 2020 was a huge success. And so then we got into 2021 and things got significantly better, especially at the latter half of the year. And so here we were again with a decision. I was like, okay, Christmas in the Park was super successful. What do we do now? Like, we typically do the Christmas parade. And so, as all great things must do, is you choose all of the good things to do all at once and you don't eliminate.
Right.
Especially if everything is amazing.
Right. Like if you're making a sundae, why leave off like whipped cream?
Yes, and so now the Christmas parade has been occurring every year, again, since 2021. It actually is this Saturday on December 2nd, but now the Christmas tree display is known as Candyland Christmas. And not only are there trees in Founders Park, but now in King Commons Park, both spaces are prominent green spaces that are host many community events and festivals. King Commons has the Johnson City Landmark sign. But
I see some trees by your office too?
Oh yes. Burger and Barrel does a lovely thing. It's not formally a part of the Candyland Christmas display, but
we won't tell.
They put Christmas trees up for nonprofit partners who were not able to get a tree in the formal Candyland Christmas, because I think, so there's 160 trees this year between King Commons Park and Founders Park, and I believe all of them sold in 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes. So, of course, they had a waiting list of hundreds of people. And Burger and Barrel, which is my neighbor next to the visitor center, they started this last year where they're like, well, there's probably nonprofits who weren't able to get a tree, so we'll just put some on our property.
That's cool.
So it's been very nice, and they actually collaborate with downtown Johnson City to find those nonprofits who weren't able to get a tree and give them a spot.
Alec, you're going to have to find more spots for trees.
Yes, I know.
You could probably sell another 100, right?
Candyland Christmas has been a resounding success.
Oh, 100%.
In 2021, Fox News named it one of the top Christmas displays in America.
Wow. Maybe that's why we were number like 3 in the country to move to. By
Yes,
Fox News.
exactly.
They're like, oh, we factor that in with pricing.
And so even the country knows how amazing it is. And at my office, we're capitalizing on that.
Sure.
Not only is that a community event, but we want people to come into Johnson City and the region to experience Candyland Christmas and the rest of the regional holiday traditions, and ultimately spend their money here and invest in our community,
100%.
which is alleviating the tax burden on our community, but also and increasing the quality of life for everyone involved, because by stimulating our local economy and small businesses. So that's ultimately why we do what we do, and we get people here in many different ways.
Now, is there anything else event-wise tied in with Candyland Christmas other than the parade?
So every year, it seems that we try to grow the programming and ancillary events around Candyland Christmas. Often there is the Jingle Bell 5K that the Goose Chase puts on, a Christmas market, the Christmas
shopping thing.
Yeah, Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
Small Business Saturday, the Christmas parade. So in every year, things are getting added and added, and even the decorations themselves. Like this year, Main Street was a priority, and I know that potentially more is coming, so that not only Candy Cane Lane, aka Commerce, or the 2 parks are blinged out, but the whole district can be beautiful as well.
Oh yeah, it's it is beautiful, and it's cool how a little idea comes to fruition, and it just is beautiful, and the trees are amazing, but the community that shows up at night, you get to see your friends, and it's just a fun family time. No wonder it's like one of the top things to do in the world now.
Absolutely. And something that I always tell people is Candyland Christmas is a great visual display of the synergy of the community.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that I speak with, they say the reason why they enjoy coming into Johnson City and visiting, or living here, or potentially want to move here, is because of the people.
100%.
And Candyland Christmas is a physical representation of that.
Yeah. I mean, the people are over and over and over. Every person I sit on and have in your seat, it's mountains, it's the community, it's but the people over and over and over. It's just we love each other, and we take good care of each other, and we're welcoming and caring, and even to go out and decorate trees just to make. You get a little bump off of advertising potentially, but it's more about creating something that's just beautiful, for our community.
And the best part about it is that it came from something horrible.
Sure, right. You can spin it, like on a dime. If you choose to take that to the negative, we could have gone, no, we're nowhere in a parade, we're going to save money, we don't do any of that anymore, just slide it all off. But instead, luckily, we had some good wisdom to spin it around and make it all.
And make it bigger and continue to make it better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well.
I think you guys need to, I don't know, we'll figure it out, but there'll be probably like a whole map in a couple of years.
Yes.
And it ties all of downtown together, and you go, all around.
I know it's the want to add more events and programming around the trees throughout late November, December, and early January. So it's coming.
I'm waiting for a Hallmark movie to be shot in there, and you and I can be extras.
Agreed. No, we're going to be the stars. What do you mean extras? I don't do extras.
You might be the star singing like a Christmas carol or something. They'll have me like doing like, there's that guy. He's picking up.
You can be a support character, and I can be the lead. Deal? Okay.
I'll be your.
We'll find some extras.
That sounds good.
We're too good for extras.
That sounds good. Okay, so let's shift a little bit, because it's we've talked about Christmas, and that's one little small aspect of your job, right?
Yes.
So talk about Visit Johnson City and what all you do there, and let's talk about the whole program, because it's a whole year. You've got years of stuff you do.
Yes. Well, I'll continue with Christmas a little bit, just because that's the season we're in.
Yeah.
Where I wear many hats. One of my favorite hats is in the public relations and communications space. So, for example, we had a Knoxville-based influencer and her family who arrived this morning. We had lunch at Cootie Brown's. I brought them to our new state-of-the-art visitor center that just opened up in downtown Johnson City. And as we speak, they are experiencing downtown Johnson City, and they're about to go on a family bike ride on the Tweetsie Trail.
What? So you'll set up experiences for some people. Probably.
Yes, I treat them like the king and queens that they are. And, I'm their concierge and plan their experiences, and in returns, they promote Johnson City on their respective platforms and channels. And this influencer is quite a large brand. She's had collaborations with Disney and some major cruise ships and other large destinations. So I was very happy that we could acquire her and have her and her family have a Johnson City Christmas adventure, not only here, but throughout Northeast Tennessee, because they're also going to be going to Christmas in Old Jonesboro, which every Saturday in the oldest town in Tennessee, they do lots and lots of programming. Yeah, they do. I believe this Saturday is Doggone Christmas, where they have a dog Christmas parade and other activities and ancillary events. So
that's fun.
And amongst many other things. And then on tomorrow evening, they're going to the notable Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Which is so much fun.
Yes, and that's a regional historic tradition. That even surpasses Candyland Christmas. That's been happening.
That's been going on for years.
Quite a while, and so over 3 million lights, you get to drive.
And all the proceeds go to the Children's Speedway Charities, which is an amazing organization.
And I know the staff there once told me that a lot of speedways in that circuit or collection of speedways that are part of the charity all do a similar event to raise money, and Bristol Motor Speedway raises the most in the country.
Isn't that crazy?
Because the locals go crazy, and visitors.
And visitors. I mean, because it's amazing. Yeah.
And so over 3 million lights, you get to drive very slowly on the world's fastest half mile. They have Santa's Village right there in the middle as well. So that is a tradition that locals and visitors take advantage of.
We love doing it.
One of the, I believe in 2021, the notable Shadrack's Christmas Wonderland.
Christmas and Lights
Shadrack's Christmas and Lights, yes.
Something like that.
Which notably was in the Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area for a long time. It's still there, but they brought a show to Johnson City.
And we went through it last year at the fair.
I haven't been.
It was cool. It was really cool. Like, because it's all musically done, and it's just, it was nice.
I know their claim to fame is like the country's best light show or something like that. I've never been.
Competition,
I favor Speedway and Lights.
So we've got two amazing
light shows. So that's at the Appalachian Fairgrounds.
If you don't want to drive to Bristol, you can go to the Great Fairgrounds.
Absolutely, and that's just right outside of Johnson City limits.
Yeah, and Jonesboro's not far too if you want to go down that way.
Yeah, but you know, the example with the influencer is that she is representing to the world that Johnson City is not only a great place to live, but to visit and come with your family, where traditionally the winter is a shoulder time for us, but there's still plenty to do. Because our bread and butter is the outdoor adventure. Right. And that's an attractor to why people come to Johnson City in the region. So when it's a little cold and dead, it's kind of hard to get.
You have to be hardcore to want to go
here. So that's why I'm really happy that the region has really invested in their holiday infrastructure and experiences, because now that's something we can promote and sell. But outside of communications, I also support our out-of-market advertising. I bring various types of groups to Johnson City, if that's meetings or a motor coach or a motorcycle rally. I have 2 colleagues that they are dedicated to sports tourism, so bringing sports groups to Johnson City and the area.
That'd be good.
And then what else do we plan? The region's premier outdoor recreational festival, the Meet the Mountains.
Which is awesome.
Yep, Meet the Mountains Festival, which is now at Wing Deer Park Lakefront.
I was going to say, let's talk about that. How did it go at Wing Deer this year?
It was phenomenal.
Because you can get out in the lake.
Exactly. Yes. So we, traditionally, Meet the Mountains was in Founders Park, and USA Raft out in Irwin would bring a demo pool. And so people would kayak or stand-up paddleboard and do other watercrafts in a demo pool in downtown. And now at Wing Deer Park, USA Raft is still a partner, but people can do all those activities in Boone Lake.
In a lake, and really get a feel for it.
And you know, it was great to have it in downtown. It's been in downtowns 2018, 2019. It didn't happen in 2020, and we know why. In 2021, and for 2022, there was construction happening in Founders Park, so we were forced to go to Wing Deer Park. Not really, that was a big learning curve, but mass success, not only from a visitor's perspective, but also the community as well. And so much so the city insisted that we keep it there. So that's our new home at Wing Deer Park Lakefront. And, you know, that's a platform for us to showcase the region's world-class outdoor assets and a reason why many people come into Johnson City.
Yeah. What's coming up in the spring that some people can get excited about, that you guys are going to be a part of? Anything that you know of off the top of your head?
Let's see here. We have a lot of groups of various kind coming in. If that springtime is when we start seeing kind of the business that we do become much more lively. Our work is very cyclical. It's like half of the year we go
preparing for the busy
absolutely
season.
crazy,
Right.
and then the other half of years our lives are a little more normal, and we're mostly having lots of conversations and planning. But in the spring we have some notable sports events coming. So volleyball tournaments, pickleball tournaments. In the summer, we have 2 USA Softball National Championships happening.
I was going to say, we've got 4 new fields over there at Wingdeer, right?
Yep, we have 9 diamonds in total now. So now we're able to have an entire championship in Johnson City and not having to use neighboring facilities when we have almost 100 teams from around the country in Johnson City.
I'm blown away that happens here. And it's, I hear time and time again when the people come in, they're like, we love it. It's one of our favorite tournaments to come to.
And then I have spring starts riding season. So we Visit Johnson City. Visit Johnson City is our parent brand, but we have 2 children, as I like to call them, Meet the Mountains.
Yep.
But also I'm the brand manager for the Southern Dozen motorcycle routes.
Oh, cool.
So that is actually a series of 12 rides, and we added a 13th, so now it's a baker's dozen. But those original 12 rides were actually created by our local hog chapter.
Really?
And then they allowed the CVB to rebrand it. It was called the 12 Pack. It's now called the Southern Dozen. And this happened a little over a decade ago. But the Southern Dozen is a series of now 13 rides that begin and end in Johnson City and go throughout Northeast Tennessee and the greater Central Appalachian area.
How cool
and
is that?
Everything we do is complementary to the consumer, where we provide you print and digital resources to navigate those routes and then know what to do, see, and eat along the way. And so motorcycle tourism is big in the
really
reason,
big here.
along with motorsports. So, we partner a lot with the Speedway, of course, but then local and out-of-market planners bringing rallies to Johnson City. So in the springtime, I have a number of motorcycle rallies that are coming in. Usually it's 200 to 400 riders. Next September, I have Lace Grace and Gears coming to Johnson City, which is an all-female motorcycle rally. And they're hoping to bring about 1,200 female motorcyclists, and so that they can beat the world record of the largest female rally.
How cool is that? Why? I'm not a motorcycle. Are you a motorcyclist?
I am a motorcyclist product expert about the Southern Dozen, but I'm not a content expert of motorcycles.
Yes. So let me ask you this: How did we become such a mecca for motorcycles?
I think it's
just the beauty of the area.
It's capitalizing on what we do best, which is outdoor adventure.
Right.
And all of these routes they're not interstates or highways.
Right.
They're back roads. And they're back roads that our community has defined as amazing.
Gotcha.
And so we're just promoting it at the end of the day and utilizing it as a vehicle for economic vitality and development for our homes and the locals around us.
Gotcha.
So, that's coming up. And then I work with a lot of planners from across the country bringing meetings to Johnson City. So Meet the Mountains and Candyland Christmas are 2 events that we facilitate and support that are more notable in the community and that are on a much larger platform. It's just not for an isolated group, but there is a lot of stuff coming, to say the least.
Which is cool, yeah. And so talk about your organization specifically, Visit Johnson City. Like if somebody's wanting to connect with you, how do they do that?
Well, most likely they're not in Johnson City yet.
Right,
so
they've
I'm
just
hoping
watched a Hallmark movie, said that's where we're gonna go.
Yes.
I want to meet the lead, Alec.
Yeah.
In the story, I hear he works at Visit Johnson City. I don't know.
So hopefully they saw my lead special in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it was going really bad in the movie. You had some kind of breakup, and then boom, you get all together and Christmas and it's snowing, and at the end it turned out perfect. But they want to meet you.
Yes, of course. So they either saw that, or maybe they saw an ad in a magazine. Maybe they saw a social media advertisement. Maybe they grabbed a magazine that we advertise in. So hopefully we had already initial touch point with us.
Right.
And they know that they can find us at Visit Johnson City on Facebook and Instagram. And we have a full service website, which we just launched, that really is a great tool for everything Johnson City and the greater region, visitjohnsonCityTN.com. So hopefully they're starting there with digitally.
Gotcha.
But we now have a state-of-the-art, world-class, fully staffed visitor center in downtown Johnson City that opened up only 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
And it was quite a process to mount it, but with the incredible support from the city of Johnson City, it came into fruition, and now it is truly a beautiful space. And I very confidently and objectively say that it's the best visitor center in the Southeast.
Sweet. So what are the hours of that if you wanted to stop?
Currently, it's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 when it's open to the public. And we are open on special days, like on Saturday we'll be open for a more condensed hours for the Christmas parade, and we are open on Black Friday and such. But we're learning how to operate it right now, and so we may change operational hours or days.
Like maybe nobody shows up until 2 a.m.
Yeah,
2 in the afternoon.
I doubt it. Everyone loves us. So we are already seeing great success. On Black Friday, we had 50 people in there, and every day we have about 20 to 30 people. And what's nice is it's a good mix of locals, those looking to relocate, and those visiting as well. So, we're a service and provide support for anyone who needs it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to checking it out. I think a lot of people will probably be rolling through too.
So yeah, hopefully when they come to Johnson City, they'll start in our space and meet us face to face. But we also have a hotline that people can call, or they can email us. So
I'm in Johnson City. I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah,
can you help
we
me
provide every channel they can possibly want.
That's awesome.
And if you contact us over the web or the phone, we can email you resources, we can mail you resources. And what I love about the work that we do is that it's all complimentary. We're funded by the city to do this work. So we support all of our partners in Johnson City and the greater region. Everything we provide is complimentary to the visitors and locals and those looking to relocate.
Because we were talking offline about how you're funded. Tell the audience how you get funding.
So we are funded by a portion of the lodging tax that is collected from our short-term rentals and hotels in Johnson City limits. So the a portion of the tax money that is generated by visitation is transmitted to us so that we can do all of the great work that we do.
Continue to fund it, to build it, to keep it going.
To finish the cycle.